the other night. I mean, how do you feel coming off a game like this where the offense was still a little bit stagnant, but you do win, holding the team under 100?
Yeah, I thought our defense was really good tonight. You play good defense and take care of the ball, you give yourself a chance to win. And we defended well all night. We didn't give up many transition opportunities, which helps you defend. So, yeah, it was a better effort from everybody tonight.
Closing five, I think, went on a 9-0 run in crunch time. What was the key in that stretch?
We got stops. I think we created maybe 2 or 3 turnovers during that stretch, and then we just got the ball to Jimmy. And he made plays. BP made a couple plays down the stretch as well. But most importantly, we just got the ball to Jimmy. And then, he surveyed and made all the right plays.
Draymond, it looked like Jimmy and Gary kind of found something in that second quarter there and carried into the second half. What did those two guys do to impact this game?
Well, Jimmy obviously draws a lot of attention when he's driving to the rim. And Gary was able to find all the open spots in their defense. He was great cutting, rebounding the basketball, which was incredible. But, he did a great job of playing behind the defense. And Jimmy's always looking for the open man. If you're open, he's going to throw that pass every time. And G was open, and he found him probably like 4 or 5 times he found him on the cut.
Draymond, you know full well what Jimmy can do, especially offensively. Without Steph, do you guys need him to impose a little bit more on that level like we saw at the end of the game?
Yeah, definitely. Without Steph. But he was also, we were trying to get him to attack that way to the beginning, and he just kept telling us, like, they're loading up. So, we need to create some other movement because they're just loading, And once everybody else started moving around him, then it opened gaps, and he was able to do what he did. So, we definitely, when Steph's not out there, we definitely need him to be more aggressive, and he was tonight.
You mentioned BP making some big plays down the stretch. He's had a kind of rocky start to the season. What was he sort of doing in the second half to get that rhythm?
He was aggressive. We always talk to him about just being aggressive. It's when you're timid that you make the mistakes, and he was extremely aggressive in that second half. And even when he wasn't scoring, it created for other guys because of the aggressiveness that he was playing with it, So he played a really good floor game for us tonight.
Draymond, you guys outscored them in the paint, obviously on a night where you're pretty cold from three-point range. What's the key to the balance of getting to the paint and still finding good three-point shots even without Steph right now?
Well, the best three-point shots are when you do touch the paint and then you're kicking out. That's one thing Coach Izzo used to always talk to us about is inside-out threes is the best threes to take. And so even if you're shooting the ball great, that's usually a product of you getting to the paint a lot, And so first half we were just kind of around the perimeter, and we never got to the paint, and it was hard to create offense. Second half, we moved the ball a lot and then attacked, and we were able to get to the paint, and it broke their defense down a bit more for us.
Draymond, how much did you appreciate the love for Kevon Looney? And I think you were one of the ones, were you watching the tribute video? And just how special was that tonight for him to be back?
Yeah, I was in the back, and then I heard them starting the video, so I ran out to watch it. Very special. For Looney to be back here, after 10 years with this organization. We've felt his absence this year in the locker room more than anything. He played such a vital role in the pulse of the team, in the fabric of the team. He was one of the biggest components to that, and so we felt his absence, and to see him come back here and get the love that he deserved, it's special, for his teammates to see the love that he has here. It means a lot. I got a defensive foul trying to box him out. I'm pissed off. But it was great to, just for him to be celebrated. Oftentimes when he was here, he wasn't always celebrated for the work that he did. And not for any reason other than, there's only so much celebration going to go around. Steph gets a lot of celebration, over the years. Clay gets a ton of celebration. And so not for any other, not that no one appreciated him. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. He does a ton of things that don't show up in the stat sheet. And, just to see him receive that love and know, I'm sure he knew what the love was, but it's always different when you get a chance to feel that and, feel the love from anywhere. And happy he got was well received the way he should have been.
Without Steph for however long, how much do you guys need to change the offense and run kind of, I guess, less of the motion stuff and more of the, stationary ISO stuff?
Yeah, we definitely caught a lot more plays tonight, which will be the way it's going to be without Steph. It's a lot less random because you just got to get dominoes to fall a different way to start the action, And so we need to be more structured. We need to move the ball faster. And when you got an advantage, you got to keep that advantage, So I think that'll be our goal. I thought, overall we did a pretty decent job of it tonight. We just didn't make shots.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.